So we're gonna start. I actually wanna be able to sit back on my toes, right? I wanna be able to sit all the way on my heels and sit here. All right? I'm gonna walk you through a bunch of these that you can kind of do on your own. So a lot of you guys are young enough that this isn't gonna be super complicated, but I want to be able to get all of these stretches up to the point where I can do them for 5 minutes at a time. The way I got good at this was just reading comics. Just read comic books, right? And so this first one, right, we're in here and you can let it stretch out to the outside too. You can kind of stretch this out. But really building up that toe flexibility and having the ability to apply pressure, right? A lot of jiu-jitsu is played off the toes. I don't like to play with my feet flat. I find that you don't have as good a pressure. And often when you play flat with your feet, that means your knees are also on the mat, which means you're taking weight off of them. So the second one, right, is that closed guard position, right? Where I'm sitting in between my ankles, my hips are tucked under, and I'm here. Once you get good at this, Rickson will actually sit out like this. So not everyone can get that low, where they can sit all the way to the mat. Like that's one that you can get used to where you make a box, right? This is another one that you can build up, get enough flexibility to be able to play with that for 5 minutes, right? So we're playing sealed up across the ground, right? We can lean back with it, we can lean forward with it, right? Work with whatever stretch it is, but take some time with these, right? Not all of these, your muscles aren't gonna immediately release after these. It takes a couple of minutes for your brain to get that kind of signal to chill out, right? So from there, the next one I think everyone should have is just a deep squat, right? And so being able to play with the heels on the mat, toes on the mat, everything sealed, the knees out. And then I bring my chest and my head up, right? Be able to play from this position. Good guard passers, once we're past the knees, should be able to play here for extended periods of time, right? This one is kind of one that I stole from watching Gunnar Nelson when he was first joining the UFC. He was still competing in like Abu Dhabi and stuff like that. Being able to sit here, head up, chest up, back flat, and being able to move here and just be comfortable in this position. I think having that flexibility is super, super useful for everyone. So just being able to play in there. Yeah, well, it's a third world. It's a third world spot, right? Like it's definitely one of these things. You will see this more often in countries that don't have an excess amount of chairs. I definitely saw a lot more of this in Afghanistan than I do in Bend, right? You know, other than my weird ass, you'll actually, if you ever see me in public, sometimes my back will get tired and I'll just sit like this for a second. Elizabeth will be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, stretching my back out. Yeah, it's one of those where it's like, I'm tired. You can relax down and do it. I like to get good at playing upright. I think it's important to be able to play upright. So I'm gonna steal a couple more, right? This one, I'll give a shout out to Salome, my head coach's wife, and one of the yoga instructors, the head yoga instructor in Portland. This one has been huge for my striking. So it's just a eagle pose. I'm sure I'm like hacking it because I'm not that good at yoga, but I'm gonna start off and I'm gonna cross my arms. And bring my hands up and I'm gonna cross my arms again. I'm gonna get to this point where we can get our palms together. If you cannot get your palms together, go like this. All right. So I try to bring the insides of my hands to my insides of my hands. Otherwise, if you get all the way through, if you can get all the way around, that's you want to get all the way around now. So check this out. We're gonna go. I know sometimes it like trips people's brains out. Yeah, don't hurt your own shoulder doing this, right? If all you can do is get to here, that's cool. But the idea is we're gonna bring our elbows up and our hands out and try to keep everything tight. So I can come here, up and out and away from my face. It makes a little eagle. Look at that. It's kind of cool. We're out here. This is great for all the lower or the middle back stuff. And just having that flexibility in the middle back, right? And so this is another one that you can come up and out with and just stretch what's flexible, and then you switch and do the other side. Everyone's gonna have one side that they're a little bit better at. But these sort of post-workout things, I know it's simple to be like, shit, I'm just gonna shower and get the hell out of here, right? You'll regret that the next day a lot of times, right? Always coming out and through, right? And trying to keep this turned back in and going through. And so those ones I think are super huge. I think that if you can get kind of develop that flexibility in feet, ankles, knees, hips, and then all the stuff that happens across the neck and shoulders for jiu-jitsu. All the rest of the like stretches, most people know how to touch their toes and do like a butterfly stretch. That stuff's not super complicated. But I do want to slowly give you guys some tools of stretches that I think have helped me in MMA, being able to recover a little bit faster, being able to feel a little bit better, and to just take the time to like body scan yourself. So you're like, okay, this needs work, right? My forearm's got some weird bruise in it, that sort of thing. So you're taking the time to really think about what you're doing.